Is NVIDIA's stock a smart buy, or are we looking at a bubble waiting to pop? AI has been fueled by an insane rally in NVIDIA's stock price, but with rising competition from AMD and disruptive AI chip startups, how much longer can this dominance last? More importantly, is it now the time to invest, or is the risk too high? In this deep dive, I'll break down NVIDIA's true investment potential, I'll analyze its market dominance, recent volatility, and the unexpected forces like DeepSeek's efficient AI model and US government backing that could reshape GPU demand. Is NVIDIA still the AI leader, or is the landscape shifting? I've done this in the form of a podcast, so it's easier to digest. And I have summarized the discounted cash flows and the number crunching that I did. So by the end of the podcast, you'll have a clear data driven perspective on whether NVIDIA is a long term hold or a stock to avoid. Now, full disclaimer, I hold a lot of NVIDIA stock. Okay, I have leverage positions, which I will be getting out of when my profit target is hit. And I have longer term stock positions, which I will be holding for the foreseeable future. Let's dive into the analysis now.
Welcome in, everybody. Today, we're taking a deep dive into this pretty interesting investment analysis report I found about NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, and they're obviously at the center of the AI boom. Their stock's been all over the place, especially with that whole DeepSeek thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely timely with everything that's been going on.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So this report is written by Com, and
he's a really interesting guy, right?
yeah, he's got like the perfect background to be writing this thing. I mean, computer science degree, specialized in AI.
And then an MBA.
Yeah, MBA in finance.
Yeah,
So like,
he's got both sides of it.
yeah, he's got the tech side and the finance side.
And then he was at Goldman Sachs, like right during the 2008 crisis.
Oh, wow.
So he's seen some stuff.
He's seen some market turmoil.
And then after that, he was VP at JP Morgan working on AI innovation and investments. So
Wow.
yeah, he's a pretty serious guy when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, so not just numbers, but like the actual tech.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, we've got this report from a guy who really seems to know his stuff. What's the big takeaway? Is NVIDIA like a good buy or what?
So he starts off tackling the big question right up front, is NVIDIA overvalued?
Okay.
And, when you look at the traditional valuation models, like a discounted cash flow analysis,
All right.
the answer kind of seems like yes.
Okay.
Like the current stock price bakes in a lot of future growth.
He puts a number on that, right?
Yeah.
Like how much cash flow they need to generate to justify the current valuation.
He says over $1.2 trillion in free cash flow
Oh,
over the next 20 years
that's insane.
to justify the mid-2023 valuation.
Like how much is $1.2 trillion?
It's more than like the GDP of some countries.
It's an insane amount of money.
Yeah, and it's not just discounted cash flow.
Right.
They trade at a premium compared to all the other chip makers, too. Even AMD.
Yeah, and pretty much every metric I saw.
Yeah, price to earnings, price to sales, everything.
So, like, does that mean NVIDIA's a bubble ready to burst?
Well, Kim argues that those traditional models might not be telling the whole story.
Okay, how so?
NVIDIA's dominance in AI hardware, especially their data center business, it's operating with margins that are more like a software company
Right.
than a traditional chip maker.
So comparing them to, like, Intel is apples to oranges.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
And their software ecosystem built around CDA that gives them a huge advantage.
Right. CAD is like,
That's the industry standard now for AI development.
yeah, it's crazy how dominant they've gotten.
And that's really difficult for competitors to replicate.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But even with the dominance and the high margins, that stock price still makes me a little nervous.
Sure.
Not to mention how volatile it's been. Like that whole DeepSeek thing wiped out billions of dollars in market value like in a day.
Oh, yeah. DeepSeek was a huge shock to the market.
Totally.
This Chinese AI startup making a powerful model
Right.
using older, less advanced NVIDIA GPUs.
Yeah.
Investors kind of freaked out thinking NVIDIA's growth was over if you could just get cutting-edge AI with less computing power.
Yeah. $465 billion gone in a day.
Yeah. Biggest one-day loss in stock market history.
It's insane.
So what did NVIDIA do?
Yeah, what do they say about all this?
They didn't deny it.
Really?
They called DeepSeek's model an excellent AI advancement,
Wow.
but they also emphasized that scaling those AI models to handle real-world applications still requires massive GPU power,
Right.
the kind that they provide.
So, like, great job, DeepSeek, but you're still going to need our chips.
Pretty much.
That's smart.
Yeah, they turned a potential threat into validation.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, DeepSeek became a major consumer of NVIDIA GPUs themselves
Oh.
after their model gained traction.
That's pretty ironic.
Yeah, they needed that power to scale up and handle the demand.
So even though DeepSeek initially spooked investors,
Yeah.
it might actually end up benefiting NVIDIA in the long run.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. And actually, the whole DeepSeek situation kind of highlights this broader concept the report calls Jarad's paradox.
Okay, Jarad's paradox.
Sure.
What's that all about?
It's basically the idea that cheaper, more efficient AI could actually increase demand for compute power.
Okay.
Like, as AI gets cheaper, more companies will use it, right? So there are more applications, and all those applications need GPUs.
So even if each AI model needs less power, the total demand could still go up.
That's the idea.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a rising tide lifting all boats, even if some boats are getting more efficient.
Right. Okay.
And we've seen this in other tech, too. Like, think about cloud computing.
Right.
When cloud costs came down, usage exploded.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with smartphones.
Yeah.
Cheaper prices meant more people could afford them.
Yeah, everyone has one now.
Exactly.
So cheaper AI could unlock all these new use cases and...
Yeah, and drive broader adoption.
Okay, so Jarad's paradox could apply to NVIDIA, even if the AI itself gets more efficient.
Exactly.
The overall market growth could still be huge.
Yeah.
But isn't NVIDIA facing some serious competition?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like AMD, Intel, they're not just going to sit back and watch.
Definitely not. AMD's the biggest one right now.
Right.
Like,
Well-
Microsoft is testing out their MI300 chips.
Okay.
Just so they don't have to rely only on NVIDIA.
Makes sense to hedge your bets.
Right. Nobody wants to be completely dependent.
Especially in a field that's changing as fast as AI.
Exactly.
Didn't that report say NVIDIA has a big advantage because of their software?
Yeah, definitely. That CUDA platform
Right.
with their libraries and tools has become like the industry standard.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like the language of AI development.
Yeah.
So switching to something else would be a huge pain for developers.
Totally.
It's not just about the hardware, it's the whole ecosystem.
So even if AMD or Intel comes out with a better chip, they still have to convince all the developers to switch over.
That's right.
Like, imagine having to relearn how to code.
Yeah, it's a huge investment.
So that makes NVIDIA's position pretty secure.
Yeah.
For now, but there are still other players out there, right?
Yeah, you've got the AI chip startups,
Oh,
and then the big tech companies like Google and Amazon.
Yeah, making their own chips.
Exactly.
So it's getting more crowded.
For sure.
But none of them are a real threat to NVIDIA yet.
Not yet. The startups are still pretty small.
Right.
And the big companies are mostly using their chips for themselves.
Okay, so NVIDIA's got competition from all sides,
Yeah,
but they're still in the lead.
definitely.
This is like a high-stakes game of chess.
Oh, it is.
Everyone's trying to outmaneuver each other.
Totally.
What about government investment?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Governments all over the world are putting money into AI.
Yeah, they're realizing it's strategically important.
Like the U.S. government bought one of NVIDIA's DGX super PIs.
Yeah, those massive AI supercomputers.
Yeah, for their own research.
That's a pretty big endorsement.
For sure.
And then there's the U.S. HEPS Act
Right.
that's designed to boost domestic chip production.
Which helps NVIDIA.
Indirectly, yeah, by strengthening their supply chain.
Okay.
And it's not just the U.S. Other countries are doing similar things.
Yeah, like everyone's realizing that AI is the future.
Yeah, there's a global race going on.
Wow.
And NVIDIA's right in the middle of it.
And the report mentioned that there could be like $500 billion in private investment.
Yeah, in AI infrastructure.
Wow. $500 billion.
Yeah, it's encouraged by all these government initiatives.
That's insane.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money flowing into this space.
So it seems like NVIDIA is in a good spot to capitalize on that.
Definitely.
But there are risks too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like geopolitical stuff.
Especially the export controls on China.
Right.
That limits NVIDIA's market there.
And it could help Chinese companies catch up.
Exactly.
So government support is good, but geopolitics can mess things up.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation.
Okay, so we've talked about valuation competition, DeepSeek Jarad's paradox, government investments in geopolitics.
A lot to think about.
What's the final verdict? Is NVIDIA a buy, sell, or hold?
The report says buy,
Okay.
but for investors with a higher risk tolerance, because their current valuation assumes they'll keep growing really fast.
Right. Like they have to dominate all these markets for it to work out.
That's right. It's a bet on the future.
So not for the faint of heart.
Not really. NVIDIA's got huge potential,
Yeah.
but it's a volatile stock.
Yeah, no kidding. $465 billion gone in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
So for someone listening to all this, what's the main takeaway?
I'd say the main takeaway is that NVIDIA is at the heart of this whole technological revolution. They're not just making chips. They're enabling the future of AI.
Okay.
And that future is full of potential, but also a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, for sure. It's a fascinating story.
It is.
Definitely a company worth watching.
Yeah.
But NVIDIA is not just about AI chips.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, they have other businesses too.
Like gaming.
So that's where they started.
Right. High-performance gaming GPUs.
Yeah, for decades.
And the gaming market's still huge,
massive.
even though it's not growing as fast as it used to.
Yeah, but NVIDIA keeps innovating,
Right.
releasing new GPUs every year.
But what about cloud gaming?
Yeah.
Do you think those high-end GPUs are becoming less important?
It's a good question. Cloud gaming could definitely disrupt the market.
Yeah. If you can stream games over the internet.
You don't necessarily need a top-of-the-line gaming PC.
Right. So is NVIDIA missing out on that?
Not really, because those cloud gaming services still need powerful servers
Oh, right.
to run the games.
And those servers need GPUs.
And guess who's providing those GPUs?
NVIDIA.
Exactly.
So they're still a key player in cloud gaming.
Yeah, even if they're not selling directly to consumers.
Right. They're providing the infrastructure.
Exactly.
Okay, that's smart. What about automotive?
Yeah.
They've been pushing hard into self-driving cars.
Yeah, their NVIDIA Drive platform.
Right.
It's gaining traction.
Okay, so they're working with car companies to integrate their technology.
Yeah, and it's not just the chips.
Right. They're creating the whole system.
Yeah, they're betting big on self-driving cars.
Seems like it.
They think it's going to be the norm eventually.
Yeah, but that market's still in its early stages, right?
Yeah, it's a long game,
Okay.
but it's also very competitive.
Right. You've got the car companies themselves.
Yeah, and tech companies like Google and Tesla.
And a ton of startups.
Yeah, everyone wants a piece of the pie.
So NVIDIA's facing competition there too.
Definitely.
But they have a good track record with AI.
And high-performance computing.
Yeah, which gives them an edge.
Yeah, they're also using their expertise in computer vision and simulation
Right.
to develop those self-driving systems.
It seems like they're always pushing the limits of technology.
They are.
Not content with just being the best in one area.
Yeah, they're always looking for the next big thing.
And that's probably a big part of their success.
Definitely.
That relentless innovation.
So we talked about gaming, automotive. What else are they into?
Well, they're also getting into healthcare,
Okay.
robotics, and even metaverse stuff.
Metaverse stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty futuristic.
It is, but those immersive virtual worlds need a ton of computing power to make it feel real.
Exactly. And guess who can provide that power?
NVIDIA.
Exactly. Their GPUs are perfect for handling all those complex graphics and simulations.
So they're already working with metaverse companies.
Yeah, to optimize their hardware and software.
Wow. It's like they're involved in everything that needs serious computing power.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's part of their strategy.
Diversification.
Yeah, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Right. Spreading their bets.
Exactly.
That's smart. It reduces risk and gives them more ways to grow.
Yeah, but it also makes it harder to manage.
Right. With so many different things going on.
But they've got a strong leadership team
Okay.
and a good track record.
And they seem to be really good at anticipating where technology is going.
Yeah, they're not just reacting to trends, they're often shaping them.
So after this whole deep dive, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah,
NVIDIA is clearly leading the way in innovation,
definitely.
and they're involved in some really exciting stuff.
For sure.
But I'm still not sure about their valuation. It just feels like they're priced for perfection.
I get it. That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Their valuation assumes they'll keep dominating these markets
Right.
and that those markets will keep growing fast.
And if those assumptions are wrong,
Then the stock could drop.
yeah. But on the other hand, if AI really does change the world, like people are saying,
Then NVIDIA could be one of the biggest winners.
so it's high risk, high reward.
Exactly.
So what should regular people keep in mind if they're thinking about investing in NVIDIA?
The most important thing is to do your research
Okay.
and understand the risks.
Yeah. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Exactly.
So-
This isn't a set it and forget it investment. It's a company that needs your attention.
Yeah. You got to watch it closely.
And be ready for some ups and downs.
It's a wild ride.
It can be.
So NVIDIA is this company that's pushing the boundaries of AI,
Yeah,
capturing everyone's imagination.
for sure.
But even the most innovative companies are still affected by the market,
Yeah, and by events that nobody can predict.
like DeepSeek.
Exactly.
So that's the nature of investing.
Holy heck.
things change so fast.
Yeah.
But NVIDIA has a history of adapting.
Yeah, they've been through a lot.
Okay, well, I think we've covered a lot today, from valuation to geopolitics
Yeah.
to self-driving cars and the metaverse.
We've been all over the place.
It's been a fascinating deep dive
It has.
into a company that's really shaping the future.
For sure.
And for our listeners, we hope this has given you a better understanding of NVIDIA,
Yeah.
their place in the AI world.
And the challenges and opportunities ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we always encourage you to do your own research.
Yeah.
Form your own conclusions.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe we'll come back to NVIDIA in a future deep dive
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
as the story keeps developing.
Definitely.
So until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.